Good afternoon, Tonka students and parents and guardians. This is Jared Barge. I'm the Activities Director at Winnetonka High School. I'm very blessed to be in that role, and I wanted to talk you through something today that's super important for a large portion of our students, and that's eligibility for MSHSAA sanctioned events as we move from fall into the winter season. And one of the things I want to talk about real quick was last summer, due to COVID, our state agency decided to make sure that everyone was eligible to start this season, this last fall season, regardless of their grades and credits that they got last spring, due to the COVID situation with us being in an environment that we'd never been in before. So they had made it so that everyone started this year, regardless of their grade level, fully eligible to be able to be involved in MSHSAA sanctioned events. So that's things like in the fall, football, golf, volleyball, soccer, those athletic events. And then on top of that, we also have like debate and music events that were all sanctioned by the state of Missouri. So one of the things I want to talk about is moving from fall semester into winter semester. All students will remain eligible for this first semester of school, even at the start of the winter session. Where things can get a little bit different for us is in between the winter session and the start of second semester, you have a grade report that is turned in for the student's activity in the first semester of this school year. And so I want to talk through some of the things that the kids already have heard from us as an administration, but we want to make sure that we hear it again, because we're getting into a situation now where we have a lot of kids that are virtual or hybrid, and we want to make sure that everyone understands for eligibility the things that they have to be eligible as we move into second semester. As I said prior, everyone will start the winter session eligible, but when second semester starts, we have to redo academic eligibility for the second part of the second semester. So the second part of the winter session is split in half by the semesters, if that makes sense. So one of the things I wanted to talk us through, I built this this PDF that tries to explain eligibility per MSHSAA rules. This is a state of Missouri rules. This isn't Winnetonka rules. This is our state agency. So some of the things that I want to highlight are that we do a lot of things here at Winnetonka to try to help to make sure that students remain academically eligible. We have things like a Flex 9 class, which is a study hall for freshmen that also teaches them study skills and organization. We have the SSC, which is our student center, where we have tutor labs and teachers that are on duty all the time to help with the core classes. We have a learning lab, which is a little special way for kids to get extra help that need it. And then after school tutoring, and we have study halls, and we have Tonka time. And we have all these things built into our normal school day to try to support students to be academically eligible for activities. So that being said, here are a couple of the basic things that are super important. Each person to be eligible for MSHSAA events has to be considered a full-time student, and so they have to be enrolled in a certain amount of courses for them to be able to be a part of any of the MSHSAA events. What that means is they have to be considered a full-time student. They have to be enrolled in 7 out of 8 classes that they're enrolled in have to be credit bearing, and so I'll talk about that here in just a second to follow up a little bit more. But one of the things I want to talk about is the previous grades from the previous semester. So where this will account will be this fall's grades for second semester, second session of winter activities is where we're going to talk about. And those students in the fall would have to earn 3.5 credits. That's 80% of their eligible classes. So that you get most of our classes at Winnetonka are worth 0.5 credit. So in those 8 classes that they're able to be enrolled in, they have to get 3.5 credits to be eligible, academically eligible for events second semester. So that's the main thing that I want to make sure everybody's clear on, is that currently, number one, they have to be a full-time student and be enrolled in 7 out of 8 of their classes have to be credit bearing, which means they have to be able to get a grade for those classes. And then second of all, this fall, they have to be able to get 3.5 credits. So they have to pass 7 of 8 classes. So you can have a study hall, but you have to pass all of your other 7 courses, if that makes sense, in a block schedule. Since we're on block, we have 8 opportunities to gain credit. You have to pass 7 of those. So they could have a study hall, but with a study hall that doesn't give you a grade, you would need to make sure that you passed all of your other 7 courses with a D- or better to gain that 0.5 credit. Our magic number out of our 8 block schedule is actually 3.25 credits, but 99% of our courses are a 0.5 credit, to where they have to make sure that they get the 3.5 credits. There are some outliers that for individual courses that we take into account, but for the most part, 99% of our courses are 0.5 credit for those folks. So if you want to look it up and read it even in more depth, I can give you this document in an email, but also it's MSHSAA Eligibility Rule 2.3.2, which is basically what I've summed up right here for you in our little talk that we did, with the 8 block schedule, where we have 0.5 credits for each class. You can see over here in this chart that credit earned must equal 3.0, which in our case, it's 80% of our ability to gain credit. So it would be the greater part of that, which must pass 7 of 8, which is 3.5 credits. I know this can get a little bit legal terms, but I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page with this. And if you ever have any specific questions, please feel free to contact me at the activities office here at Winnetonka, or contact your student's counselor, who also is very knowledgeable within the framework of the MSHSAA eligibility that we have to abide by for your students to stay active. And that's our main goal, is to make sure that students, number one, are academically successful, and number two, that can participate in the activities that they want to participate in. Thank you very much. Have a great day. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to our office, and we will try to get those questions answered for you. It's always a great day to be a Griffin. Thank you so much. Have a great day.